We're rolling now.
Okay.
Sweet. All right.
Cool.
Well, welcome to the lighter side of the dark side. It's your weekly freak show here on Renegade Radio, also Spotify, Stitcher, Apple. We're on everything except iHeartRadio's coming. We're on everything. It's a Dark Mark show. I'm Dark Mark, the goth comedian, and to my left, everybody's favorite vegan heavy metal DJ, Hannah Bach.
Hi.
Yay.
Hannah, you seem a little nervous this week. What's going on?
A little nervous?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm excited.
You're usually so excited. Yeah.
Like, hi. No, we got some cool guests on tonight. So.
Well, you just gave a longing look, so that's part of the reason why you're nervous. It's a Hannah's choice and a Mark's choice because
it is.
Somebody you've been lobbying for months.
Yeah.
To get this guy in the show, because I'm like, you know, so many rock stars, you know, so many famous people, and yet you've been like, let's get a comedian on the podcast. I'm like, wow, that's never been done. Let's do that. But this guy, I can see why, because he's got the long hair, heavy metal look that you like.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the deal is with you two, but we'll find out. That's
Brandon
Brocato.
Nice.
Brandon Brocato.
How's it going, everybody?
Of the White Trash Comedy Tour with our friend Liam B.
Comedy Tour. That's right.
And other things, Venice Beach.
Other things. I host a show in Venice. I've been doing comedy for a couple years now. I mainly write. I got a bunch of projects going on. We can talk about that later if you want.
We'll talk about all sorts of things later. And
that's fine.
My choice, my friend. I saw you a couple months ago at Lenora Claire's. Sad and Bougie Sunday brunch. Goth hip hop brunch.
Yeah, it's the best. I love it. It's so much fun.
And I hadn't seen you in a while. I think I ran into you at CIA at some point, but
I think we performed together at CIA.
I know we have. We have done that.
I think we performed. Did you do something with Tuesday?
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think we were on the same show.
Yeah, I think we were on the same show. Yeah.
And now Tuesday night have beef, but that's on her side, not mine. But
I mean, she hasn't talked to me in like ages. The last time she hit me up was last Halloween, and it was because someone had fallen out of her show that she was doing in like Long Beach. And she called me like last minute going, hey, can you come perform? And I was like, dude, I just got out of a gig at DC Comics and I'm on my way to another gig. And like, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to drive all the way out to Long Beach for $10.
Yeah.
Like, it's not happening.
You actually have paid gigs.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's Dakota the Bearded Lady that's talking. And I like Tuesday Thomas. She has beef with me. I don't have beef with her.
I love Tuesday. I wish that she would still hire me, but at the same time, I can't afford to work for her anymore just because like I get actual paying gigs now. And the last time I performed for her, she literally like waited until the very end of the show, like when everybody was clearing out, like we were the last two people because I'm not leaving a show until I get paid.
Yeah. And by the way, that's why I didn't book you on my show, because she's got a bigger budget. I was going to give you a $5, but that's just one of those things.
But so she goes and she like slips her hand into mine and like walks away, and I look and she literally handed me like, I don't know, 3 5s, and I was just like, all right, I'm never doing this show again.
Wow. I thought she was going to like give you a little vial of Coke or something. What that was. Anyway, before we get started, and by the way, we've been talking outside for a while, and the chemistry's great. This is going to be. Who's got the best beard before we get started of the three of us?
I would have to say
Dakota.
Yeah. Dakota's coming in nice.
Dakota's number one. You're number two. This is a little scrappy, so you trim it, and you got You got a whole thing. Like you trimmed it up too.
Yeah,
I do. I'm actually jealous of your beard.
Thank you.
It comes in fuller than mine. Like mine just grows down like this, like one of those snakes on the 4th of July, one of those
like
terrible fireworks.
Like the guy from Anthrax.
No. I wish it was that cool. No, it literally just grows like this, like a giant chia pet, and then I have this Johnny Depp mustache. You know what I'm saying? Like
mine gets
comes
like
in
this
the
weird,
cheeks.
It curls down. It's the whole thing.
I get one way to wear it.
Sorry, I work really hard on keeping my beard looking good. I shave my sideburns because my sideburns go all the way up to my cheekbones, but I've got like
Wolverine style.
Yeah,
nice.
but like I've got
I can't do that.
I've got like share cheekbones, and I want to like show it off, you know, because I'm like I got these awesome cheekbones, and like
you do,
and thank you, and so I like to show off my cheekbones and to just like, you know, make sure to highlight like as much as possible. Like I pack on the highlight and everything, and you know, I've got hair up here, and I'm just like, no, get out of the way, like move. Nobody asked for this.
Yeah, I was gonna say outside.
I'm so jealous.
Your highlighter's on point. You can't really see it in this light, but yeah, it looks great out there.
Thank you.
Anyway, before we get started, we've already got started, but got a couple sponsors real quick. Audible. You guys are on the road all the time. Listen to audiobooks. Audibletrial.com/DMS. I'm looking at the camera right now. So if you're listening on audio, I'm just pointing at you. Do you want a free audiobook? Go to audibletrial.com/DMS. Whatever you want. If there's a book you've been meaning to listen to or read, it's on there. Whatever you like. You like Stephen King books. Tiffany Haddish came out with an autobiography. If you like that, I know they got a couple great books on the Sideshow.
Yeah.
David Spade just came out with an autobiography.
Yeah.
Bob Newhart has a show on Audible. Now they're getting into the show business.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Bob
interesting.
Newhart, who's 92, if I'm not mistaken,
Good for him.
interviews some young, fresh talent like Will Ferrell, Sarah
Yeah.
Silverman, Judd Apatow. But it's cool.
Real
It's,
young and fresh.
Young, fresh.
well, compared to
Real
him,
young
yes.
and
So I love Bob Newhart, and I was listening to that when I went to Vegas, and it's a really good show. So
I'm obsessed with Audible.
yeah, so
Yeah.
go to audibletrial.com/DMS. Free 30-day trial, free book. If you don't like the book, if you're disappointed with the book, or whatever you get, they have Keith Richards' book. Johnny Depp narrates it as Keith Richards. Whatever you like. But that was a big hit a couple years ago. Now, not so much. But if you don't like the book, you can exchange it for another book.
Yeah.
And if you cancel the next day, you keep whatever book you like. So audibletrial.com/DMS. Also, do you want to do it?
Do Me Some Cooking.
We have Do Me Some Cooking as a sponsor. 1253 Vine Street, Hollywood, California. If you're in Hollywood, tell them what you can.
You
what
got
you
to
can
go
eat.
there. I mean, they have the Next Mex, which is their Mexican food, and then you can go next door and you can have burgers and your fake pork.
Have you been to Do Me Some Cooking?
sandwiches.
I haven't, but I really want to.
It's the best vegan food you've ever had. I took my parents there.
Yeah.
I had, listen to this, shrimp po' boy.
Dude.
Vegan.
Dude.
100% vegan. Delicious. Wait till I show you the pictures. When we went there about a month ago, you had bacon cheese fries, a Big Mac. This is all vegan.
Yeah.
We went there. We went to the Mexican restaurant. I've never seen flautas this big. Huge chicken flautas. Amazing. And you could, if you don't know what you want, if your friends want burgers or po' boys and you want Mexican, you can take food from one restaurant to the other right next door to each other.
So wait, everything's made out of vegans there, right? It's
Yes.
a vegan
Yeah.
restaurant.
It's all
See,
vegan.
I had vegan nuggets
Pulled
one time,
pork.
and they were kind of good, and then I found out that they weren't actually made out of vegans, and that was really
See, that just like makes
No,
me
they're
think
not
of,
made
like,
out of vegans. They're
That
made
just
out
like
of
that just reminds me of like
I mean,
that
grass-fed
scene in the
human
Addams
sounds
Family
delicious.
movie.
Yes.
Do you remember the Addams Family movie?
Yes.
Where the little girl comes up and she's just like, "Bye, my Girl Scout cookies." Or oh, is your lemonade made out of real lemons? And Wednesday goes, "Are the cookies made out of real Girl Scouts?"
You slipped that one right by us, Brandon. But no, they got Philly cheesesteaks. They got pulled pork sandwiches. 1253 Vine Street. They're gonna they got a new restaurant going in Culver City, not so far from you. If you're in Toronto, they have a Do Me Some Cooking there.
I'm gonna be in Toronto in January.
Go to Do Me Some Cooking.
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah,
the
yeah.
friends that I'm staying with are vegetarian, so I'm sure they're gonna love that.
They'll love it. They'll
Yeah.
love it. Anyway,
That's exciting.
so Dakota, the bearded lady.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting the beard to be all trimmed and the sideburns, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Last time I saw you, I think it was all a full Amish thing.
Yeah. The first couple of years that I was growing it out, I didn't really understand like beard maintenance, and then I got like connected with the Gentlemen's Social Club of Los Angeles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're really awesome guys. They put on a beard competition every August.
And you were part of that?
I am. I have competed 3 times so far. I've placed once, not this past year, but 2017. I placed second in the partial beard category,
Okay.
which was awesome. The theme was 80s. It was really cool. They had
Wait, so what's an 80s beard that you did?
I just sprayed a crap ton of glitter in it.
Yeah.
But I dressed like Cyndi Lauper. It was like so much fun. Like
Yeah.
I had like all the crazy jewelry, and I like did like my hair like all big and like put like purple spray in it and stuff. It was a lot of
So
fun.
I'm trying to think who in the was some ZZ Top guy one or so I'm trying to think of like an
no,
80s
so
beard.
so there's different categories in the
Yeah.
competitions,
Yeah.
and I compete in partial because I shave my sideburns.
Right.
So the guy who won in partial that year has a beard that literally like touches the floor, but he like puts all these rubber bands in it, and
one
it
of
looks like a whip. It's like it's intense.
Yeah.
and he like wraps it around his body and stuff, and I'm just like, how do you even like live like that? Like, oh my god, if mine touches my boobs, I trim it because I can't handle it.
I know how he lives like that. He's whipping somebody with that beard.
Well, then you'd think he'd be a little bit more relaxed when he's backstage at a beard competition.
Oh, really? Was he nervous about it around you?
Yeah, he got kind of weird around me. He was like, "Oh, well, I just don't understand how like a woman could be competing in this category and blah blah blah." And I was just like, "I'm sorry."
Women are taking over the world.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
One beard at a time.
He's like the one thing we had was beard competitions, and now the women are taking it away from us.
He lost to a friend of mine 2 years before. My
Right.
friend Corey.
Okay.
She's up in. They are up in Oakland, I think.
Is Corey a bearded lady too, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he was like saying, "I just don't understand." And I was like, "Well, I'm sorry that your masculinity is so fragile that you can't handle the fact that I can grow a beard as good as, if not better than, some of the guys here." And he was just like, "Well, guys have feelings too." And I was just like, "Yes, and we've been hearing about it for a millennia."
Right.
So
Right. Well,
I'm sorry.
maybe
but
maybe
I'm not
maybe he
sorry.
needs to enter a vagina contest.
Maybe.
With best
I
vagina.
mean, but I would beat him in that too. So.
I'm sure you would.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm sure his clit is huge.
yeah. So you, when did you? Was it like when you hit puberty that you started growing? Because I heard horror stories. I read horror stories about you online
You read horror stories about me?
about waxing your beard. when
Oh
you were-
God, it was rough. It was so rough. I waxed for like.
And your stepfather made you do that?
Yeah.
Why did he
so-
shave?
I did. After a while, I started shaving, but he had talked to his friend who was a hairdresser who told him that if you wax hair, it'll grow back thinner, which is a flat out lie.
Yeah.
That it's just another myth perpetuated by the beauty industry. And so like there's this toxic thinking that like hair is inherently bad, which didn't even become a thing until like the 1920s, I want to say. And I mean, people didn't even wear deodorant until the 1920s. So, like, you know, everybody was just all hairy and smelly and just, like, walking around doing their thing. But, like, imagine, like, those flappers. Like, you know, those, like, little flapper dresses. They had, like, arm hair and
Right.
stuff, you know. And so he listened to his friend, and he believed that and took me to her and had her wax off my beard because a friend of his said to him, he went, "Hey, what's going on with your kid? She's got about as much facial hair as I did in high school." And that stressed him out. And, like, he took me to this woman and had her wax off my beard. And, like, I just, like, went down this, like, shame spiral of,
That's
like,
hor-
oh,
that's-
no,
that's
women
horrible.
don't grow facial hair. And, like, it
That's-
made me feel so bad.
That's horrible.
Like, as a teenager, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I was already the fat girl. I was already the girl who, like, chopped off all of her hair because I was just like, fuck, like, everything. Sorry, can I swear?
yeah.
Oh, please,
Okay,
go
cool. All
ahead.
right,
Go
cool.
for
Yeah,
it.
we
Because I was just
we
like-
encourage profanity.
We
Actually.
do.
Okay, cool. Because
People
I was just
like
like,
profanity.
I just wasn't sure because, you know, I've done like reality TV and stuff, and if
Yeah.
I say fuck, then they're just like, all right, well, we have to do that entire thing over because it has to be real, but you really can't swear. And I'm just like, ah.
So fucking swear. So go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so I was just, you know, I was like the kid who like chopped off all of her hair and was just like, fuck everything. Like, I'm going to just like do whatever I want to do. And
So wait a second. So you chopped off all your hair and you
Yeah.
had a beard? So
no,
you look like a
I
strong man or something?
I mean,
or-
I
or-
wasn't allowed to look like
okay.
I wasn't allowed to look like that because I had to wax my face every
Yeah,
month.
that's
And so
every month.
Every
too.
month. I would go and I would wax my face
Dude,
once a month.
this is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
All over a fucking small joke that somebody said.
Yeah.
And his insecurities projected on you.
Yep.
It's fuck.
I mean, we're good now.
and
You know,
I'm
like
sure.
he's super supportive now because
Yeah.
I sat down with him when I started growing it out and I said to him, I was like, hey, look, like, I reconnected with a friend of mine who's in Sideshow, and I've decided that I want to grow out my beard and I want to be the bearded lady and I want to join the Sideshow. And he was just like, well, I just don't know how I'm going to feel about you having a beard. And I go, well, you know what? At this point in my life, I don't really have to take into consideration how you feel. Like,
Yeah,
this
how old
isn't.
were you at this time?
I was 23.
Okay.
All right. You're still a baby. but-
23, yeah. So I was like, look, at this point in my life, I don't have to take into consideration like that. I want to do this, and it's not about your feelings; it's about my feelings. This is nothing against you, but this is how I want to be in my life. I want to join the Sideshow. I want to be the bearded lady. I want to make a fucking difference. And he was just like, okay. And it took him a little while to like get used to it and everything, but then like he bought me this really cool sign. Like my siblings both did 4-H, my younger siblings, and so at fair they have like he always
Wait,
gets
4-H is like cow stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
My siblings raised pigs, lambs, and goats.
Okay,
and then
all
they
right.
sold them for slaughter.
I
at
was
the end
raised
of
in
the
Los
year.
Angeles. I just eat those.
Yeah, exactly.
Hannah just made a face.
I know. Sorry.
But I knew this was coming.
He
But
got me this cool sign that says "Don't fuck with the bearded lady." He had it like specially made
that's
for me,
actually
and
cool.
that's like
That's
hanging up in my
awesome.
room. Yeah,
and your
it's
siblings, none of them have. I mean,
great. No. It's not a genetic thing. I actually don't have an official diagnosis. Basically, as close as we ever got was that my adrenal glands are messed up. Yeah.
And I was. I had a really bad joke on the tip of my tongue, something about the carpets matching the drapes, but we're going to save that. Because Hannah, you've been after me to have Brandon on for weeks.
I have.
Tell me why.
He's funny. You know, I never. No, he really is. Like
How did you guys meet?
Tinder.
Tinder. Totally met on
This was
Tinder.
a Tinder guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're always like, I can't meet anybody on
Yeah,
Tinder.
but it's the first time
we've
we've
met.
met. We've just been corresponding.
Wait a second.
I've been taking my time. I'm a gentleman like that, you know?
Hannah, you got to tell me this thing. You gotta tell me this
2018.
thing.
We hold out on sex now, too. Okay?
When did you guys match on Tinder?
I mean, but
We
do
matched on
you?
Tinder, what, 3-4 months ago?
Yeah, about that. We've been like corresponding for a minute. We were supposed to get trashed last week, but
Yeah. I had some things come up.
shit happens, you know? It's all good.
Yeah.
I still got trashed.
Yeah.
So when you guys met in the
did.
street outside, that was the first time you actually personally met?
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
No, but you are her type, absolutely.
No, I know. Well, I'm everybody's type. You know,
You're not my type.
You know who loves me is mothers, dude. Mothers absolutely
Really?
love me. Yeah, and if you guys are watching this, you can take a good look at me. I am a total scumbag. And really,
I think that pours out of the audio.
Absolutely. I mean, this is just a visual.
If I said that, I'm like, I'm a scumbag. Nobody believes it. I'm a fucking scumbag.
Scumbag. It's okay. But
I got that whiskey gargle voice. I'm a fucking scumbag.
The opposite of a germaphobe. I'm a fucking scumbag. Okay.
Yeah.
And you know the voice. Yeah, my mom's really worried about the voice. She's like, Brandon, you should see a doctor. And I'm like, why would I see a doctor?
Dude, I am
Mom?
so
Okay?
envious of your voice. I wish I had your voice. That voice is so good for comedy. Are you
Shit
serious?
cost me 2 million Marlboro miles, bro.
That's great for radio. It's great for comedy. It's great for all of it.
You know,
Voiceover work.
I'm starting to learn that, but you know, I'm putting in the time, man. Right now, I have a cartoon show, so I do voiceover
sure.
for the cartoon show, but then. Like with comedy, it took me a long time to come around to my voice. I really hated my voice.
Right.
When I was a kid,
What's a cartoon character?
It's Lush. He's a drunken lawn gnome that lives in a trailer park.
Typecasting.
Yeah. Hey, bro. I'll typecast myself.
Yeah.
It means I got a fucking paycheck. You
Hey,
know what
man,
I'm saying?
I'm Lush.
I'll sell out. That's the whole fucking point of the term, selling out. You sell out
Right.
and make some fucking money.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to hook this up now that I know that this is the deal. But I know Hannah's so nervous about what I'm going to say next. But how metal are you?
How not
Not
very metal at all.
That might be a strike.
No, we
hate
talked
Metallica.
about it.
I hate Metallica.
too.
Dude,
Okay?
No, wait a second. But is this recent Metallica or like?
No.
Hold
on. I take a stance to Metallica the same way I take a stance to the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
When I meet a Deadhead, they're like, "You like the Dead, bro?" And don't get me wrong, I sold acid in high school and love acid. Acid is my favorite drug in the world. I fucking hate the Dead. If somebody tells me, "Do you like the Dead?" I always go, "I like that song, Touch of Grey." And then I watch their fucking heads explode.
That's the pop song.
I know. I do the same thing to Metallica fans. I'm always like, yeah, Enter Sandman, bro. And like, they fucking lose their brain.
Nothing else matters. It
Dude,
rocks.
Yeah. Dude, look, man, yes, I do like metal, man, but I like an earlier form of metal. Okay, I was like super into like Leonard Skinner, and I was into Black Sabbath.
All right. Now you're getting points back out.
But then again, bro, I've been seduced by bands like Steely Dan, dude,
Steely
and
Dan's
Hall
great.
and Oates.
Sure.
Okay, I got a friend to this day. This day, my boy Todd gives me shit every time. He's always like, "What do you want to listen to?" Hall and Oates. Every time. And I'm like, fuck you, bro. Okay.
But the thing about the Grateful Dead, I remember when I was, I would see the album covers, and the album covers were cool.
Yeah.
They were like Iron Maiden album covers, like that kind of shit. And then you listen to it, it's it's bad country.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. And then I've never seen it live. God Thank God.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sure everybody tripping on acid in the fucking field with naked bitches around that are like, just like gang rape me. You know, whatever they do at fucking, and you know, I'm sure you don't do that at Deadhead shows. I'm just teasing you motherfuckers, okay? Jesus Christ. Take a tab and chill the fuck out. Fucking, no, but like, I just never like, I never got into it. I never went to a show, you know, like I went to Burning Man once. That shit was cool.
Yeah.
You know, but I used to go to like raves in the 90s, back when like, when ecstasy were double stacked Mitsus and you fucking hid them in your extra phone battery.
So you had the Jinko
spot.
jeans and shit like that?
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I was deep in the 90s.
Now
bro.
let me. Is it true? Did I read that you were you're on the show House?
I was
As a rave bouncer.
Yeah, dude, I really was. Actually, that's so funny. I was typecast in my first fucking goddamn thing.
How'd you get that?
Well,
They saw you at the rave or what?
All right, no, all right. Side note.
Let me get the techno music.
All right, side note. So, when I was like 19 years old, okay, I was working at Johnny Rockets on 3rd Street Promenade. I grew up in Santa Monica, okay?
Right.
My family's originally from the Valley, but I like, you know, I was like Gabriel Contreras from the original 90210. Like I was bussed in from Pacoima.
How long is that bus ride?
It was, well, actually, no, I wasn't busted. My parents drove me at like 5:30 in the morning. I actually listened to Howard Stern every morning on the way to school. It was like the best memories of my childhood, to tell you the truth.
That explains a lot.
I remember the day when Howard Stern saved that man from the Washington Street Bridge. When he was like, the guy called him Howard. He's like, I'm going to fucking jump. And Howard was like, chill out, bro. Yeah. And talked to him for like 7 hours. Yeah. Talked this dude off. Dude, it's a fucking incredible episode.
Cool, yeah.
I was like 12 years old. Maybe 14. I don't know. I suck at math. But still, like, I remember, like, doing it, and it was so funny because the next day he was so full of himself over it. It was so fucking funny. He was like, hey, Robin, you know that song Bette Midler did, fucking The Wind Beneath My Wings? Mm-hmm. She wrote that about me.
That's funny.
It was pretty fucking funny. I thought it was hilarious. I mean, I was 12 years old, you know. Howard was a man, and whatever. I'm digressing here. Yeah. So I grew up in Santa Monica. What was I talking about?
We were getting to how you got on the show, the
TV
show House.
Okay, all right. So I was living in Santa Monica. I was out of high school. I hadn't joined the army because Bush had just become president, and I was like, "Fuck that." Yeah. Which I really regret. I should have done that. Okay, but still.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like 6,000 people died in both Iraqi wars. You know how many people die every day in America? 6,000. America kills the same amount of people that were killed in those American soldiers. Either way, you get an education out of it. You get like, I just would have liked to have that bargaining chip too in comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't talk about the military because I never served. But I definitely have viewpoints on it. And I wish I had tortured myself for a couple of years and gotten all the positive stuff that comes along with it just so I could talk shit back. But I know my place. I never served. You know?
So if you served,
but don't get me wrong.
Fuck the military.
Well, no. Fuck restaurants. I served in restaurants, okay, which is the lowliest of all things. At least you got to roll around in tanks and shoot people. I had to take people's shit.
You think Johnny Rockets is bad?
Oh, dude.
When I was in college, I worked at Denny's. Oh. That's the worst.
That is the worst. That is the worst. I'm sorry, I've never done that. Johnny Rockets was bad when I was 19. But back to my story. So I was 19 years old. Yeah. And this chick comes in. She had curly blonde hair, and I'm like, and she was a to-go order, which was like free for anybody to grab. Yeah. So I rolled up to her, and I had a buddy before that who was like, yeah, I moved from here to San Diego to be an actor. And I was like, you can't just be an actor, bro. You got to be like drama class and shit like that. And he was like, no. You can just be an actor. And that got me to thinking. So I was like in college at the time. I was up at SMUC. I was doing my 13th and 14th grade. And I started taking some acting classes, and they were fun. You know, just like the improv class that we had to walk through to get here. Right. And
except yours was fun.
That was actually fun. I wasn't bad.
I'm kidding.
She was actually doing a really good job. And on top of it, they were getting better each time. And like, really,
they were giving them good advice.
They were discovering things, and that's what improv's all about, you know? So, okay, back to the whole thing. So I was an actor, okay? So basically, Jen Houston was this chick with blonde hair. She came into the thing. I hit on her. She was like, you're fucking cute. Are you an actor? I had done 2 classes at MCMC. I had no headshots, photos, nothing of me. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'm an actor, you know? She got my information, hit me up the next day. She brought me in. She was actually the casting director for Martin Scorsese's The Aviator.
Oh, wow.
And I auditioned for 2 one-line parts. I still remember the lines to this day.
In The Aviator?
One was, well, there goes our meal ticket. The other was, welcome to the Flight Academy. That's what I had to do. It was that fucking easy. I'd never done an audition in my life. I skateboarded to the audition in 96-degree heat, okay? In a pair of Adidas, like, tearaway black, like, old 90s style, and a fucking, like, tight-ass shirt that said Sublime LBC. Like, dude, I could not have been...
Nothing says Howard Hughes.
Yeah.
Like a Sublime shirt and sweatpants.
I had no fucking clue. I go in that audition, my legs are fucking shaking. I'm like scared shitless. I've never done anything like this before in my entire life. She kept that tape. I heard nothing from them for 7 months. She kept that tape, went back to New York. She had a friend named Christy Thomas who was coming to LA to be a manager. Mm-hmm. And she literally like handed the tape off and was like, find this kid. Here's his number. Find this kid. She came to LA. She like called me up one day. I was fucking broke as a joke. I pulled a full on Scarface at Johnny Rockets. I was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out, you know?
Yeah.
And like I was dying. They brought me to their office. I kind of just told them my life story, and we smoked a bunch of pot together, and they like signed me on the spot. And
it's like A Star Is Born.
Pretty much, yeah. Except my voice is way better than Lady Gaga's.
Of course.
I know that's a bold statement. I do that on podcasts.
So then they're like
Trying to create controversy, you know.
So then they saw the sweatpants and they said he's the door guy at the rave. I didn't know House went to a rave.
No. So that was just how I became an actor.
Okay.
I actually went in and auditioned for that. I nailed that fucking audition to the wall, dude.
Nice.
I went in there and fucking just boom, hit it. I even remember like walking out, like I was just like, that's how you do it, motherfucker.
How method did you get though? Were you on ecstasy or what?
No. I do actually the lines were completely different from what I was doing. I got brand new lines. I didn't even know I was the door guy. I just did like another audition. I don't even remember what it was.
Oh, okay.
I really don't. That's how it works in the industry. Like the audition, you go in and you nail the audition, and they're like, all right, check it out. I know you worked really hard on those like 7 lines. But here's 7 more. You got 20 minutes. Let's make it happen. You're a professional. You make do. You make do. You know, you got the crew going for a certain amount of time. They're going to shoot you in that time. You make it happen, and what comes out comes out.
Well, Dakota knows all about that.
Oh yeah, no, I did an art film a couple of years ago, and they told me that I was going to get 3 pages of lines, and it was all going to be in one take. It was like this whole monologue that I had to learn, and it was intense.
Monologues are rough.
So like I'm like practicing this thing like crazy. I'm like trying to like read all of this, and like, you know, the director's telling me, he's like, oh, like I want it to be like really like psychological. I want to get into like philosophy, like look up philosophy stuff. And I was
he wanted you to write it and perform it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
that's bullshit.
No, but
that's what they call an art film, you know.
Yeah. So
exactly.
basically, I get all these lines, and then I'm like learning about all this philosophy and stuff. I'm like, I bought a thing on Audible. It was like all this like just random like philosophy, and I would just like listen to that every night and like learn these lines. And I get there, and he's just like, oh yeah, so we're just gonna like cut like most of it, just keep like these 2 parts, and then say whatever else you want. And I was just
that's
okay.
Was this a mumblecore film? Or what was it?
It was GX Jupiter Larson. He does like art films, and it's just about to come out on DVD, I think. I just got a text from him a few days ago, just like, hey, what's your address? I'm going to send you a DVD.
Oh, that's great.
And I was just like, oh, awesome, cool.
Now that nobody has a DVD player anymore, and everybody streams movies.
Seriously.
I mean, hell, I stream everything.
Yeah.
So
Why don't you send me a VHS? That'd be better.
Right?
Yeah.
Why don't you just download it to Cody, and then I'll watch it? Okay.
Put it on vinyl. Everybody's going for that. Now, so you worked at the Venice Beach Freak Show.
Yeah, I did.
Because your friend who encouraged you to grow your beard.
Yeah.
She was what was she? This
Fire Eater.
Fire Eater. Okay.
Yeah. Her name is Sunshine English, and when Todd's daughter decided to step away for a little while, Sunshine took over, and she convinced me to join the Freak Show. She convinced me to grow out my beard, and then I slowly incepted my way in and like
Right.
just started going there just to hang out, and like, you know, they saw like the progress of like my beard growing, and finally Todd was like, you know, if
Yeah,
you
was it
ever-
like the stubble and they're like, wait a couple months?
No, it was like the first time I went, I had shaved the day before, but I didn't shave it all that day.
So this was
No
when
one
you were.
really,
This
like-
is the beginning of the embracing.
Yes.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
this
the
is
beginning of the
beautiful.
embracing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dakota the
So-
Peach Fuzz Girl.
Honey, I haven't been Dakota the Peach Fuzz Girl since I was 13.
Oh, wow. I noticed you don't have a mustache.
It kind of grows a little bit on the ends, and
Yeah.
it's slowly starting to like fill in.
Kind of
and I'm just
snidely
sort of like,
whiplash sort
yeah,
of thing.
I'm just sort of letting it let it do its own thing. I'm like, girl, you do you. I'm just gonna like support you.
Have you shaved
just
the
do
upper
what
lip?
you
Is that what
want.
do you usually do that or not?
No, I don't. I don't shave the upper lip at all.
Okay,
I
alright.
trim it, but I don't shave it.
Yeah.
I just sort of let it do its own thing, and
Right.
it's slowly starting to like creep up towards the middle and like turn into a real mustache. So I'm
Right.
just sort of like, all right, you know, take your time. It's fine. Just do whatever you want, sweetie. You're doing great.
Right.
Like going all Kris Jenner on my mustache. Just, you're doing great, sweetie. You're doing great. No, but so I went to the freak show, and I met Todd, and I met all of them, and I worked there for about 8 months, and it just got to be like a really toxic working environment. So I quit.
Really?
Yeah, it was really toxic working there, and it was
Yeah, I
just
hear
not.
the elephants don't like it in the circus either, so I can understand.
Well,
I'm not even going to get into that right
Yeah.
now because that is like
Hannah,
a
do you
whole
want to
other
take that one about the
conversation.
elephants?
Yeah, I don't think we.
Yeah, no, I don't think we do. I don't think we do. I'm not even going to get into that. But yeah, working for Todd was just like not great, and
But it
you
was
know,
it was a start and it was an
it was a
encouragement.
start. It was encouragement.
And now you're modeling. You were just in
Yeah.
New York at the
Uh-huh.
Fashion Week.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I did Ashton and Michael's 2018 spring fashion show. It
Yeah.
was really cool.
How did that happen?
I'm signed with a modeling agency.
Okay.
It's called Zandwagon. They're out
Right.
of New York, and you know they haven't really been reaching out to me much, which kind of sucks because like I'm under contract, so like utilize me. You
Right.
know, like I'm the fucking bearded lady. Like fucking utilize me.
Mhm.
But they called me and they were like, hey, look, like Ashton Michael like wants to like talk to you, and he wants to like look at your stuff and blah blah blah. And I was just like, okay, sure. And so then like we started talking about it, and then they were like, all right, so basically they want you to come out and do Fashion Week. And I was just like, okay. So I met him at his LA store, and he took all my measurements and everything, and we
Mhm.
talked for a little while. He showed me video from his last walk, his last Fashion Week, his last show.
Right.
I'm like, I can't word. His last show, he showed me stuff from his last show, and he was just like, you know, it's gonna be a continuation of this, and like, what colors are you into, like from like this palette, and like, what are you, you know, like, what are you into? And we started talking for a while, and,
and you know, hanging out with you as much as I have, it's basically black on black on black. From what I've seen.
actually,
Which I have the same
really,
palette 'cause I'm
I mean, but
colorblind.
I really like color though.
Yeah.
Like I do. I just don't buy a lot of it because like a lot of plus size stuff doesn't come in like color. Like
Mhm.
it's like the fashion industry just wants us to wear black and like look thin and like hide ourselves in the corners and like not exist. But
Right.
like the fact of the matter is like the majority of people in America are plus sized, and you know, so it's just like a whole thing. But he actually made this amazing dress for me, and it's got like leather and like it's got like hoops on it, and I got to keep the dress that I
Hell
wore.
yeah.
So what was
So
the
that's
reaction when you went
more-
down the runway?
So we didn't end up doing a runway show.
Oh, okay.
We did. So what we did was we were like hiding in these like little styrofoam rooms. Like literally, they had these like styrofoam walls like set up on either side of this stage, and they like set the stage, and it was really pretty. And like they told us where to go, and then like we would like pose and you know let people take pictures of us and everything, and then we would go and like sit down, and like that was how we ended up doing it. And I mean, you've seen me when I'm performing, and like
Yeah.
I get into like management mode really hard.
Mhm.
Like I'm just like, okay, you're up next, and then you're up next, and then you, and then me, and then you, and don't forget your cue, and don't forget where to stand, and like
Yeah.
you know.
She's not kidding. I've seen this.
No.
Great though. That's great.
I do. I'm like total mom friend. So the reaction was pretty interesting. People kind of went crazy, and
Yeah.
I loved it. It was great. I mean, but I've got like a crazy ego, so I'm just like, yes, worship me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Finally, the world knows what I've known all along.
Exactly. And then come to find out, I'm actually the first bearded lady to ever do Fashion Week.
Fucking
Nice.
A.
So I'm
Nice.
gonna be
Great.
I'm gonna be writing to Guinness and being like, hey,
Nice.
where's my plaque?
Yeah.
and hopefully not the last. And
Yeah,
I hope you will
exactly.
be there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, and part of the reason I brought that up because I thought it was a great story.
Yeah.
Is this guy's done some modeling.
Oh, wow.
From what I
Oh,
understand.
yeah, he did. I've seen the photos.
Do tell, Hannah.
Man.
Very handsome.
Yeah.
But he's like he was like the Tiger Beat looking.
I
back
have
in the
worked
day.
very hard to work against that.
Is this like the house years?
This was actually just after the house years. So when I started acting like out the gate, I booked this like Chevy commercial that was directed by Michael Bay.
Oh my
I mean,
God, I'm up for a Chevy commercial right now.
Yeah, those are fucking great with Dustin.
I don't. I all I know is I've auditioned for it and they've sent me in and submitted me for it and everything. I'm just
All right,
waiting to hear from them right now.
I'm gonna text my boy Dustin. He does all the Chevy stuff.
All
Sorry,
right,
Dustin.
awesome.
I'm gonna hit you up.
Yeah.
But still, but he wasn't even the guy who booked me for this. This was like 2006, like way back in the day. Whatever.
I was in junior high.
Yeah, I'm in the commercial for like a fucking second. I'm literally in the back seat of a car and like in Elvis shades, and I'm like, oh, and I look at this car. It's so lame. It's so lame. And this was like the
It's so lame. I paid your rent for a year and a half.
Dude, no joke. It was 2006. That was before everything went like digital.
Yeah.
Like when I started acting, couriers would bring your sides to you every day. They didn't even email you shit.
Wow.
Like, dude, it was, this is pre-internet taking over. Like
Yeah.
people were still like, computers, I don't like them things, It wasn't
Shit, I know
anywhere
people who
close to
are
it.
Still like that.
Well, yeah, so do I. But like, not like, okay, so whatever. I out the gate, I kind of like did really well for myself, and then I started like that commercial gig pays. Theatrical gigs only pay you like $800 a day when you're SAG, so you get like that. So I was on House where I shot one day.
Yeah.
I got paid like $900 for that one day.
Nice.
That fucking Chevy commercial, I made like 80 grand off of.
What the
Yo,
hell?
no joke. I was
What?
I was like 23 years old. I was so dumb. I was at Ledoux buying bottles. I was like, I'm rich, like,
Right.
I was so dumb. Literally, my agents were like, fuck it. This is just the start, baby. Like, go to
Yeah.
town. Yeah, till the fucking
Great
tax
agents.
man came
Great
around
agents,
and fucking I
yeah.
owed 10 grand.
Yeah.
But still, like that was like dope like right out the bat. But then like theatrical stuff, I didn't really like nail anything. Commercial stuff I wasn't really nailing. I was nailing the theatrical stuff. So I was like, I was hurting. Like, I mean, that 80 grand was dope, but I was also like couch surfing at the time in Echo Park, like
Right.
paying nothing for rent. Like, I was balling, but like I didn't even buy a new car. I had 80 grand. I had like $69,000
You
in
didn't
my
even
bank.
buy a Chevy.
I didn't buy a Chevy. Sorry, I'm more of a Ford man, but whatever. Michael Bay can eat my dick. Anyways,
Oh, really? Any Michael Bay stories that you can?
dude, yeah, he's a douche, dude. Like,
Is he really?
So
Literally not.
all right,
even
all right.
surprised
So
at
at
all.
all, right? Okay.
No.
So I was basically an extra that was in a commercial. So like
Featured extra is what they call
basically,
it. Yeah.
but
And by the way, if you don't know, Michael Bay is the director of such classics as Armageddon,
yeah.
Bad
Who
Boys,
cares?
Pearl
Yeah.
Harbor,
Yeah,
Transformers.
yeah, yeah.
One of the biggest directors in Hollywood. He's
Yeah,
doing
he
a
is.
Yeah.
Chevy commercial.
Yeah, he loves fucking Ben Affleck's dick. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Well, who doesn't?
I don't.
I
Okay.
don't.
Sorry,
No,
sorry. I didn't care for Gone Baby either.
No.
Yeah.
At the end of Gone Baby, I
Gone
was
Girl.
like, or Gone,
Gone
Girl?
Girl,
Yeah, well,
yeah.
yeah. Oh my God. The end of that fucking movie, I was like, killer. Killer. Like, I was like,
Just
you
actually
just dragged
do it.
me through fucking 40 minutes of thinking you're gonna kill her. And then you're just like, I'm a bitch.
Kill her with your
I'm gonna just do what she says.
kill her with your
I-
dick that everybody hates.
Yeah.
I haven't been that mad at a movie since Inception.
Oh, that was horrible.
Dude, Inception was the
Ugh.
worst, dude. Dude, and that's all Leo's fault. Well, it's not Leo's fault. He doesn't know any better. He's not a writer. He's an actor.
Yeah.
But basically, the movie was stuck in post for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And they couldn't figure out what the fuck to do with things. It was such a fucking jumble. And in the end, Leo just walked in and was like, it's all a dream. And like literally, that's the biggest cop out when it comes to writing. If you write anything like, if at any point you're like, oh, it was all a dream.
Looking at you, Roseanne.
Oh.
So,
You
anyway,
know what?
so Michael Bay.
I have love
Michael
for
Bay.
I have love for Roseanne. She
Dude, the whole end of that show was terrible. The
I
first one. The
no,
first
I know.
show,
Then the
but
reboot was
and then the
incredible.
reboot-
And then she like snorted a bunch of Xanax and had to be a fucking like
Ambien.
racist on
Yeah.
Ambien, whatever. Dude, my mother used to do Ambien, and I like literally like my stepdad won't let her take it. He fucking literally one day he came out to her. She had like woken up in the middle of the night and just had a frying pan with the heat full on and just like a spatula with nothing in the thing.
no.
Just he was like he's like, all right, no more for you, no more.
Terrible.
You don't get to do Ambien anymore.
I've done some fucked up shit on Ambien.
Yeah.
Oh, do tell, Hannah.
One night, like I tripped balls on Ambien. When my
Oh my God,
girlfriend,
me
she
too.
witnessed it. I ordered a bunch of sex toys from Amazon, like 20 of them. The next day, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Cancel.
And you also swipe right on this guy.
That's
I
fucking
did.
hilarious.
I have
Yeah.
a
Hey.
secret
Well, what have
life
you
view.
done on Ambien?
Thank God.
Just mostly hallucinate. Mostly hallucinate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I like tried to make my dogs sleep in my room, which they don't like to sleep in my room. So I was just like, no, we need to have a cuddle party. And my dad's just like, no, leave the dogs alone. Just go to bed. Jesus Christ, you're fucked up. Just go to bed. And I'm just like, I just want someone to love me.
And what did Michael Bay do on Ambien?
Yeah.
I have no clue. All right, so back to Michael Bay. So,
Yeah.
so we get on set, right? Okay, like
Yeah.
this was back the day before they had featured extras. Before they figured out like they could just pay extras to sit there in the fucking thing. They were like, no, these are actual like actors, and that's what Michael Bay likes to do. He likes to spread the wealth, but he's an asshole.
Right.
So we get to set, and these like literally the DP comes on. He's like this black British dude, and he's like, listen, okay. He might yell at you, okay? Don't take it personally. That's just the way he is. And we were just like, this is gonna be fucking awesome. 5 people in that fucking car. I'm sitting bitch in the back seat, okay? With the long hair and the Elvis shades. My hair wasn't this long, though. I actually quit acting because I wanted to grow my hair out. But anyways, they wouldn't let me. But like I like was in the back seat, whatever. We shoot the whole thing. He's like, I'm thinking you in the middle with the Elvis shades. I want you to do one of these. Like just from like the end of the Breakfast Club. Like I was like Bender, right?
Right,
He's
right,
like,
right.
no problem. So I did 1,000 different like every single one for an hour.
Oh, God.
And in the end, he was like, "Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna work." And I was like, "You think, bro?
That is
you
so.
think, dude?"
That is so
Yeah.
Stanley
Yeah.
Kubrick. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Well, you know, they have to justify their fucking paychecks. If they're not being a super asshole, then they're not worth the money.
Yeah.
Thanks. I can't lift my right arm anymore.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
my arms-
Michael Bay.
My arm's fucking fine. I went
Yeah.
home and fucking tugged one out. It was okay.
And Michael Bay, successful director.
Very successful.
Tommy Wiseau,
Oh boy.
my favorite director.
Oh, we're going there.
We're going there because I'm just trying to find out exactly.
Hold on, Tommy Wiseau's your favorite?
Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, from the room.
What? I know who he is. I
Well,
don't
well,
pronounce his name right. He couldn't pronounce my name right if he tried.
I love shitty movies. So I watch the room religiously.
Yeah, no,
I
that's,
do.
like,
I do
seriously,
too. But
That is the first movie that I watched this year. Like, I did a show New Year's Eve in San Diego, like crashed on my friend's couch, woke up the next morning, and she was just like, hey, you want to watch The Room? And I was just like, fuck yeah, let's watch The
Have
Room.
you seen it before?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd met Tommy several times.
Okay, so this is the thing you were telling me outside.
Yeah.
That apparently Greg.
Okay, so
Sestero.
Greg and I were like talking, and like we started talking about. Okay, so it was a couple months ago.
He was hitting on you, as men do.
He kind of, yeah, he was. We were like just having a nice conversation. I had like run out of the theater. We were at the Egyptian. I had like run out of the theater, like run to go to the bathroom.
Oh, it was a room screening.
Yeah, it was a room screening. Yeah,
Okay.
and Greg actually showed up for that, and I
Okay.
brought my copy of The Disaster Artist with me because I wanted him to sign it. Because
wow,
I
you're a
loved
fan.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've got The Disaster Artist, and then I have The Disaster Artist on Audible
Oh.
because Greg reads it, and it
Nice.
sounds like Greg is telling you a story.
And
That's
if you'd like to
awesome.
get that audience, audibletrial.com
Yeah.
/DMS, it's free.
You
Go ahead.
totally got it. So Greg is like kind of just standing along the side, and Tommy's like off doing his thing over by his merch table. He's talking with his like guys that work for him and everything. And Greg looks up as I'm walking past, and he goes, "Hey, how are you?" And I was just like, "Good." how are you? And so I just like stop and we start chatting and we start talking about like modeling and stuff. I had just come back from New York, so I think this was like, I don't know, March. I want to say like sometime in March or something. So we're talking and Tommy looks over and he sees us like just chatting. We're just having a nice conversation. And Tommy goes, Greg, come over. Greg, we have to do live stream. Come over here. Greg is just like, yeah, all right, I'll be right there. I'll be right there, Tommy. Like, don't worry about it. He's like, no, Greg, come on. We have to do live stream. We have to do live stream right now. The fan wants to see you, Greg. Let's go. Let's do live stream. And he's like, Tommy, I'll be right there. Like, I'll be there in a minute. It's okay. Like, I'll be there. And he's just like, no, Greg, you can talk to a girl later. We have to do this now. And I was just like, I like look at Greg and I was just like, so it was nice talking to you. And he was just like, yeah. I gotta go do a live stream now. I was like, okay, good luck.
But wait a second. You just said that you're the person that when they do a show, you're like trying to corral everybody to get everybody.
Oh no,
so
that's when I'm performing. I'm
Okay.
not performing when I'm going to see the room. I'm just like
No. I'm saying Tommy Wiseau is doing the same thing.
Oh yeah, no, Tommy does the same
Come on,
thing.
Greg. Don't talk to pretty lady. Come over here.
Greg, we have to do live
Yes,
stream.
yes.
We have to do live stream right now, Greg.
The bearded lady's tearing me apart. But wow,
I have spent so much money on fucking Tommy Weisau though. Like he can like wait 5 fucking minutes so I
Right.
can talk to Greg Sestero because like I've bought his DVD, I've bought his fucking boxers, I've bought the shirts, like I have a bunch of like the room like stuff, you know, and you know, he can wait 5 minutes while I just get to talk to Greg. Like the one time I've ever met Greg Sestero, and
Right.
like he doesn't go to screenings very often. He doesn't do all of that. So he actually came to the Egyptian and like introduced it and everything. And he, you know, it was like after, I think it was after the Golden Globes, after that whole thing happened with, oh God, what's his face? James Franco.
when he ran up and
Yeah,
tried
when
to
Tommy
accept
like
his
tried
reward.
to like grab the mic and James was just like no, but like I actually got into a fight with like some producer in a
Right.
bar about that because he was just like, I think that was so disrespectful, and I was just like, have you ever met Tommy?
Yeah.
And he was just like, no. And I was just like, have you ever heard Tommy talk? And he was just like, no. And I was just like, have you ever been in a room where Tommy's like talking? You've never watched like
It's
a
for
YouTube
his own
video.
good.
And I was just
Yeah.
like, I was like, seriously? It is for the good of Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
It is for the good of James Franco, and it is for the good of
Yep.
everybody
Yep.
at the
Yep.
Golden
Yep.
Globes
Yep.
that he
Right.
didn't
Yep.
get a hold of that
Yep.
microphone.
Yep.
I was like, I 100% understand why James Franco
You
did
think
that.
Kanye's bad?
Oh,
like
my
literally,
God.
like get Tom Wiseau on the
But at least you can
Wow, that's
you can
an
understand
insult.
that.
Yeah, you can understand Kanye, Tommy. It's
Now,
just
have
sort of
you
like,
had other celebrities hit on you? Let's say
Yes.
none
Yes,
that
I
you're going to talk
have.
about on air.
It was pre-beard. I haven't really like had too many celebrities hit on me like with the beard that I've really noticed. But
Really?
like pre-beard, I've definitely had celebrities like hitting on me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And but I mean, your dating life is. I mean,
I don't really date.
really.
Yeah.
So I know you've been in a relationship, and I know you're
Yeah.
you're into men and women. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
I'm pansexual.
yeah.
Yeah, I've dated men and women. I don't really care what a person's gender is, so long as they're like a good person.
Right.
Like that's the only thing that matters to me is that a person's a good person and that they're interesting and that they're funny and that I can get along with them and that they understand that I'm into some like serious nerd shit. So like, yeah.
Nerd shit, really?
Oh yeah. I'm like huge in like all the Marvel movies. Like I got
But
into.
That's not even
That's
nerd.
not
I was gonna
nerdy
be like,
anymore.
what
No, but, like,
level dungeon master are you?
I want to play Dungeons and Dragons fucking bad.
I do too. I snubbed it my entire life, and now like I watch
no.
people play it. I'm like, this looks fun.
I know. I'm like dying to play Dungeons
I
and Dragons,
know.
but nobody
Uh-oh.
I know plays it.
You're blowing it. You nerd gum lately. You're
Man.
blowing it.
I'm a nerd.
Hold on, hold
I'm
on.
the first. I will be the first to admit it. I am a total, absolute. fucking
Talk about
nerd.
being a nerd, and I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
No, I got to do something with the camera, but you.
Okay.
talk.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
All right. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I've been dying to play Dungeons and Dragons. I've wanted to play
me
it for
too.
so long.
Like, okay, so watching fuck, I'm gonna blank on his fucking name. The guy does Rick and Morty.
Justin Roland or Dan Harmon.
Dan Harmon.
Okay.
So Dan Harmon had this so basically Dan Harmon like brought this guy up. He has this show, I forget the name. I think it's a Kill Tony or some shit.
Right.
And basically like they do this like live action show, and he met this like dungeon master kid who's like a total nerd who lives with his mom, which is not a bad thing.
No.
And literally, like, he created this show. Like, he just brought a dungeon master on, and just watching him fucking do his thing, I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Like, this is a level of creativity and dude, I was an actor for years. I used to do improv,
Yeah.
you know, like I used to do all this stuff. Now I do stand up, and the reason I do stand up now is because I don't like to work out, you know, like
It's the only time that you actually do stand
I'm all
up.
personality now, you know, like I
Yeah.
got tired of bowing down to the corporate lords that told me I have to look a certain way or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I had a baby face with no beard.
You still
and I
have
wa-
a baby face.
And I was 6'2" in 2006 when Tom
So-
Cruise was running
so-
shit.
so
they were
how
like-
tall are you now then?
I'm 6'3". I haven't shrank. I'm wearing flats too. That's it. I got one more inch before I fucking turned like 30, and that was it. But no, like I okay. So you want to talk about nerds? You want to talk about directors?
Yeah.
Nerdy directors.
Nerdy directors.
All right, let's talk about John Waters.
Oh
'Cause
my
hold
God,
on.
obsessed.
Because the second you said that fucking Tommy Wiseau's like your favorite director,
kidding, of
I
course.
was like,
course.
yo, excuse me, but John Waters is literally the man. And don't take this
The
the wrong.
coolest man alive.
The
And
coolest
Oh
man
my
alive.
God,
He
he's
owns
so
the
great.
Leftorium and The Simpsons. And don't take this the wrong way. Literally, I was looking at you and I was like, he reminds me of fucking Divine. Like, without the makeup, don't take this the wrong
I
way.
take that as the highest of
Yeah,
compliments.
Okay,
I
good.
hope
Yeah.
so, because like literally Divine. Okay, I'm a straight fucking male that grew up in the fucking 80s and 90s. Okay, I am not supposed to like John Waters. Okay, I absolutely.
You've jerked off to Divine before.
No, I've never jerked off to Divine before.
Okay, I thought this is where it was going.
Just,
yeah, I thought
just
that's
a
where it
big
was going
fan,
too.
just
Yeah.
a big fan of her freedom
Yes.
and what
Yeah.
she understood and what she stood for.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was a beacon for people that weren't there. And I'm actually a scumbag. I've already disclosed that to everybody.
Yeah.
And I say horrible shit all the time. Okay,
Right.
all the fucking time. But I don't have one bad thing to say about Divine. Divine owned her fucking time and place.
Yep.
She was a goddamn fucking rock star
Yep.
and did it incredibly.
Oh,
like it took a Johnny Depp movie to get me into John Waters. I saw Crybaby and was like just enthralled. I was like, oh my, who are all these people? Like, you know, I mean, let's
My
talk
dad-
about Lorraine, or the one chick who ran over somebody and is in jail now. But you know that, right? Locaine, Amy Locaine.
Oh, yeah, Amy Locaine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think she just got out, though.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Amy. It's
Yeah.
a
But you
trumped
met
up
John
charge.
Waters, right?
Yeah, I met John Waters.
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
picture of you
I'm
with
so
John Waters.
jealous.
I met him at Book Soup. He was doing a signing up at Book Soup just down the street, and I bought his book, and I grabbed two friends, and I was like, "We're going to meet fucking John Waters."
That's awesome.
And I'd met him like a month before I started growing out my beard, but like I went to this signing and I waited in line for like 3 hours, and I finally got to meet John Waters, and the first thing he said to me was like, "Have you heard of this bearded lady?" And I was just like, "No, I haven't." And he goes, "You should really look into her." And like she like, you know, had like a restaurant, and she like basically owned like half this town, and like it was
Yeah.
super cool. And he goes, "But I totally love your look. I love that you have like full face of makeup and a beard. You should be doing like ad campaigns. You should be like modeling. I want to see you on the front page of like magazines." And I was just like, "Thank you."
Prophetic.
Yeah, and then he goes, you know, "Out of everybody that came here tonight, like you win, you're the winner." And I was just like, "Thank you, John Waters." And I hand him my Odorama card that I grabbed out of my dad's laser disc of polyester.
Oh, wow.
And I like brought that to get him to sign it for my dad, and he was just like, "You're too young to know what this is." And I was just like, "No, I have to tell you a story." So the minute I turned 17, my dad goes, "You want to start watching NC-17 movies?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yes, please." And he goes, "All right, so
Wax your beard first.
watch Pink Flamingos." He goes,
Okay.
"Watch Pink Flamingos." I
Yeah.
watched it. My mom was so mad at him that he let me watch that movie, and he was just like, "She's 17. I can't change."
That's
it."
cool. The
Yeah.
sad part about it, though, now that the world is caught up with John Waters, he can't get a movie made.
I know.
That's fucking terrible. But hold on, we're in Trump's America right now, okay? Let's let this time pass. This time is this time right
That's
now.
why he's doing stand up and he's doing books.
Well, then
Yeah.
the second I get something going along, I'm gonna like totally reach out to him and make sure that he's a part of it.
Yeah.
John, I'd love to rape your fan base and more importantly, give you work as well. Okay, like either way, I like. That Simpsons episode is probably my favorite Simpsons episode.
Right.
Besides
That's a
the
lot of
monorail episode, which is everybody's favorite. But, like, that episode is fucking incredible. Like, literally, anytime I'm turning a corner with anything in my hands, I go, hot stuff coming through. Like, every time. Nobody gets the reference. I've done it a million times.
Oh,
I actually
God.
got kicked off of like a production shoot that I was working on because I was carrying like dolly rails, and you're supposed to say hot points when you come around the corner.
right.
And the entire day I was like, hot points coming through. And some gay producer heard it, was like, fuck that guy, fire him. And I got fired.
Wow.
Yeah.
As cute
John
as you
Waters.
are.
Pervert,
John
dude.
Waters got you fired.
Yeah, it's okay, Johnny. It's all right. Trust me. You got me through some awkward years when I was a kid.
Well, where does the time go? I told you it goes by so quick.
Are we already
Don't we
done?
have
No.
some performing to do?
You would think that would be enough entertainment
Is
for everybody.
this like where we fight to the death?
No,
and
no,
then three continue the next
Dakota's
round?
got a couple things going on.
I do have a
I'm
couple
gonna be
of
over
things
here
going
because I want
on.
to make sure the camera gets it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. All right, so I've got two things to show you guys, actually. The first one is something that I love to do. It's called the human blockhead, and I'm actually going to do it a little bit differently. Most time when you see a human blockhead, you think, oh, like they're going to hammer a nail into their nose, which is what the human blockhead is, but I like to do things differently. So I have with me a pair of hair cutting scissors.
Are you cutting my tongue?
No, I'm going to put these scissors directly into the center of my head. But wait, there's more.
Oh. And then she licks it. Oh
Gotta keep my
God.
tools clean. Gotta keep
That
my
was
tools clean.
fucking. That was hot. That was hot.
Thank you. And then the second thing that I have to show you guys is this mousetrap. I bought it at Home Depot, and it's covered in lipstick.
Okay.
Now,
That's a
I'm gonna tell you why
kinky
that is.
fucking shit
So,
right there.
So because of like my I told you I have like an adrenal gland issue. Because I have too much adrenaline, I don't feel pain the same way that everybody else does. So it takes about 2 pounds of pressure to break the spine of a mouse, killing it instantly. I'm going to take those life-ending 2 pounds of pressure, and I'm going to apply them directly to my tongue.
Oh,
Ready?
oh my God. Ow.
Come on, give her a applause.
Yeah.
I'm holding the camera.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
So
Holy
it's actually
shit.
funny. I don't know how much like YouTube you guys watch, but I'm like super obsessed with Shane Dawson, and he's doing this whole docuseries about Jake Paul right now. And like in part 5, which he just released like on Monday, they went to like Jake Paul's house, and like one of the guys.
Who's Jake Paul?
He's a YouTuber.
Is he that douchebag that found the ghosts in Japan and then pissed off the entire country of Japan?
No, that's his brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Jake Paul used to be on like some Disney Channel show, and he's like one of the most hated people on YouTube and stuff.
Really? Why?
Oh,
that
just
like the
You
that
gotta,
is
you gotta be a
whole-
fucking real
that is
asshole
a
to be
whole
hated.
other
Because he's a pretty
episode.
boy and a
Was that-
dude.
That's a whole
Wasn't that
other
with the whole
episode.
Basically,
body
you at
thing?
19, if
That
there
was
was YouTube,
that was Logan. That
Oh,
was his brother.
I was the most
But-
gentle.
so-
pretty
you at
person.
19, if there was YouTube, you would be on YouTube.
Yeah.
But so
I would not
so
Wouldn't be able to figure
so
it out.
one of like Jake's friends who lives at his house, he like snapped a mousetrap on his tongue, and like it super made me cringe because he did it wrong. So like there was a really high chance of him actually knocking his front teeth out the way that he did it. So you guys saw the way that I do it is I hold the mousetrap against my chin, and I just put my
Yeah,
tongue
yeah.
over it and
Yeah,
let
or
it
else
snap
the-
that way, or else the bar will hit the front of your teeth.
makes
And
sense.
like
Right.
I was like, I watched that on Monday and I was cringing like so hard, just like, oh my God, you're gonna knock your damn teeth out. You're gonna knock your damn teeth out. He didn't, but like I have to say, like, I do not recommend doing this.
Yeah. Trained professional here,
But
people.
but if you have to snap your tongue with a mousetrap, make sure you press the wood of the mousetrap directly against your chin and like stick your tongue out over it like Kiss. like Gene Simmons does, where he like sticks his tongue out like that. You stick out your tongue like Gene
Same
Simmons.
thing for a
and
blowjob,
then
kids.
snap it. I mean, I don't know what kind of blowjobs you're getting
Right?
or giving.
Vicious
but,
ones.
like,
Well,
those sound really
The
uncomfortable.
wood goes right up against the bottom of it. It goes against the bottom of the lip, like you said. And then you make sure you open your mouth so you don't get the teeth in the way. You don't want any teeth.
Yeah.
well, the
Sounds
night is
boring.
young, and Hannah and Brandon just met. So,
So there you go. Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen later on.
What made you do the scissors versus anything else?
So I started with a hammer and nail, and that was just like super predictable.
Right.
Everybody, does scissors and nail, or everybody does nails, and so
Right.
I work at Beetle House on Hollywood Boulevard. So I actually do two things at Beetle House. I do a spoon, which my joke with that is, how they say some people are born with a silver spoon in their mouths.
Yeah.
Well, I just got to do everything different. And then a friend of mine mentioned, he was just like, hey, you should do scissors instead of a nail, because the nail's just it's just everybody does it. So I
Right.
started doing the scissors. So I bought a pair of hair cutting scissors, and I started doing that because I'd see
How ironic.
Yeah,
I'd see-
nose hair
And they're
cutting
sharp.
scissors.
and they are sharp. They are
Yeah.
extremely
Yeah.
sharp. I when I do my walk around at Beetle House, I have a little notebook paper, and I have people give it a little cut just to prove that
Yeah.
it's real. And I have this whole spiel that I give them, and I get them really stressed out, and they're like, oh God, I'm gonna be sticking scissors into her face, and then I'm like, all right, so then give this piece of paper a cut, and they're just like, what? Oh my God, what am I doing?
That's awesome.
Paper? And I'm just like, yeah, paper. Just cut the paper.
Yeah.
Okay. I cut the paper, and then I take the scissor and I stick them in my face, and they're just like, I'm so confused.
Yes.
It's great. I love
fun.
it. I love seeing people's faces when I do
But,
that stuff. It's so much fun.
I'll definitely have to come down to Beetle House and see
Yeah,
you.
totally.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Well,
and,
this show has been a lot of fun.
It has been a lot of
has.
fun.
Oh my God,
It's
it's been so
a
much
great
fun.
show. Now, Brandon, how do people get a hold of you? And tell us about any comedy shows going on. You're going to be on Netflix soon as part of
Yeah.
the
As soon as they get done editing
White
it,
Trash
whatever.
Comedy
The White
Show.
Trash Comedy Tour, that is correct. We were going to get a tour out of it, too. So we're going to, travel around a little bit, hit the road, which
Right.
is super cool.
Fun.
It's like the blue collar comedy tour at Better Pots.
And on top of it, we're just funnier, we're not just talking about being rednecks.
Look
We
at it.
actually have comedy that
Liam's part of the
Shows
tour.
us.
Our friend
Yeah.
Liam B. So
well,
they are here.
we all represent a different kind of white trash. That was the whole point of
Right.
the show.
And what's your white trash?
Yeah, what is your white
Liam's
trash?
biker white trash.
Right.
And then we had a kid named Anthony Davis who was country white trash. His whole
Yeah.
bits on fucking, or his sister being a fucking.
I know.
Yeah, all right. So there's Anthony. Then there's Pache, who's gay white trash. I'm white urban trash. I'm white trash
okay.
from the city. I own guns, but I also support Roe versus Wade. Them Latinas are fertile. You got to have the escape plan ready to go. I'm totally. I'm a little more progressive, but still a little more back there.
So I don't think you have a website because I was looking, but you have Instagram, you got Facebook.
I got the Instagram. Instagram's B Money Was Here. You can just search me on Facebook as Brandon Brocato.
Or Tinder.
If you get so lucky, I usually just
Who super liked who?
I erase. We just liked each other.
Yeah.
I don't really super like. I don't like doing that. Really, tell you the
Okay.
truth, and really I really don't even use Tinder very often.
Same.
I have.
Everybody says that.
I
No,
learned.
you don't. It's when you're bored.
Yeah,
Like,
you
wanna
look
reject
at it, you're
someone.
like, all right,
I do
guess,
Bumble.
whatever.
We're bored.
See,
I'm
I don't
bored
do
17
Bumble.
hours of the
I'm
day.
not hot enough for Bumble. I get nothing
Oh my God,
on
no.
Bumble.
Blow your
People match
pictures
with
up.
me all the time
Yeah.
on Bumble, and then as soon as I send them a message, because the girl has to send the first message
Yeah.
on Bumble, as soon as I send them a message, they fucking unmatch me. And I'm
You
just
know-
like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
you guys.
Yeah.
that's rude. And
It
you know what's
is.
rude? Bumble, okay? And so is Tinder, right? Listen, people, okay? Go out and fucking just be yourself in public. You'll run into somebody that wants to fucking lick parts of you, okay?
But we don't want them to lick parts of us. Usually, it's go away.
Oh,
No, we do.
I
The
know
people
that.
who want to
Three of
are
them
not
before
the
says
people that you
so
want
that's,
to.
so that's Brandon
Exactly.
Brocato, Brocato.
Yeah, Brocato.
Brocato.
Yes.
Cato.
And Dakota, how do people get a hold of you?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all at Dakota's Beard. You can find my Facebook fan page, it's facebook.com/Dakota's Beard, Instagram, Dakota's Beard, Twitter, Dakota's Beard. You are going to be able to find me on YouTube soon at Dakota's Beard.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm working on that, getting onto the platform, finally, like, trying to get myself out there and everything. So
I subscribe to that channel.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun one.
So
A lot of vlogging.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna be like showing like I bought those Snapchat glasses that like record things, so I'm like figuring out how to like download the videos from the glasses onto my computer,
Wow.
so that I can use that like
The
every time.
ugliest glasses in the history
Oh, they're
of the world.
they're so ugly,
They're
but I
so
love
ugly.
them so much. I just love
Right.
ugly things. Like ugly
Fair
things
enough.
are so great.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, well, it's no wonder you're on my show. But
Aw.
anyway, and then there's Hail Hannah Bach on all social media.
BAKK, not BACH, and it's pronounced Bach, not back.
Did I say back? I said
People-
Bach.
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 And Goth Comedian on all social media. I wish we could stay. We're going to have both of you back soon.
Yes, we are.
Everybody have a
Yes.
wonderfully creepy
Yes.
week. Bye.
Bye.
All right.